welcome to the Dub Show. I appreciate you guys, man. Check me out.
I caught an L at a young age, stretched out. Getting 24, homie, I got 5 out. Now on YouTube, trying to get a paper route. Coming till you know the deal, we on some grown shit. What's cracking, everybody? New video. So here, let me adjust this a little bit for you guys. So I see Gunna put out a video yesterday talking about when he got his ass whooped. And apparently in the comment section, there's a couple people saying, well, when's Dub's gonna tell a story about when he took an L? Because he's sounding like Wes Watson at this point. I don't have time to take an L. I'm on a higher frequency. Nah, that was my Wes Watson. It's not a good one. I know I gotta work on that. I gotta say it more with my chest. But let me go ahead and satisfy you guys with a story where I take an L. Okay. This is a story, goes back to 1988. I was in a group home in Riverside, right? I was going to Ramona High School. Shout out to Riverside. Shout out to Casablanca. Shout out to Ramona High School, all the alumni, whatevers. So I was going to Ramona High School. Anybody that knows, that was Casablanca's high school. I swear I feel like I told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again for everybody that wants me to get beat up. So when I was going to school out there, when I was in the group home out there, we were the home was over there by the Tyler Mall, right, near the Tyler Mall. We're on Gardena Street, right? And the guys from Casablanca were deep there, man, and they didn't like me. Okay. I didn't have any problems with them, but they didn't like me because they knew I wasn't from there. And believe it or not, a lot of their homegirls and some of their old ladies were all like, they were trying to get at me, right? But me knowing that I was so far out of bounds, I wasn't even trying to play around there. You know, that's too far. There were so many of them. I was by myself. You know, them dudes were walking around school with guns on them, knives. You know, I already knew, like, I'm in a placement. I can't have weapons on me. I had a knife all the time. But, you know, I'm just minding my business. So I had a buddy in the group home. It was a white dude, a rocker by the name of Richard Ennis, right? And so I used to actually hang out with him and his buddies. They're all stoners and like heavy metal type. They used to trip me out. I used to get stoned with them and drink with them. We ditch all day. I mean, we were troublemakers. We would ditch all day, and I used to always get stoned and look at them and like, how did they get into such tight clothing? But anyways, one day, I was by myself. Richard and his stoner friends were somewhere, and he told me, hey, we'll be over here, just come. So I was walking across the parking lot, the front parking lot. What is that, Arlington? I think that runs right there. You guys correct, anybody from Riverside, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say it's Arlington that runs on the front parking lot. And I was walking across the parking lot, and I could see over there in the distance, there was a few dudes from Casablanca over there, and you know, so I was just looking around, see where everything's at, and you know, I'm strolling, and this car comes in the parking lot, and it drives past the vatos from Casablanca, and it's coming around, and it's coming towards me, and I'm keeping my eye on it. Like I said, you know, this is the 80s, you know, and this is a gang infested area. There was at least 100 dudes from Casablanca that used to go to that school. I had seen several shootings at that school, especially in the front. So, you know, your head's got to be on a swivel. So anyways, I see this car coming towards me, and I'm looking at it. It's a carload of dudes, and they pull up on me. And one of them says, hey, where you from? Now, this is where I made my mistake. I turned around, I was like, SB, Holmes. SB sounded like CB probably. I don't know if those two neighborhoods don't get along, but I think they thought I said CB, or maybe they don't get along with San Bernardino, but they proceeded to exit the vehicle on my ass, right? I was like, fuck it. There's no talking at that point. They're already out of the car. I don't know what they have on them. So my dad had always taught me when I was young, always go after the biggest one. So what did I do? I rushed the biggest one. I think I swung one time, and then they proceeded to strike me viciously upon the head and upper torso area. I swear I was getting hit in every area, every direction, swiftly too. They were solid punches. And I was trying to swing, and I just know I was getting socked everywhere, and I was getting like those flashes of lights, like it was that Polaroid moments, right? And I was just boom, boom, and I'm swinging because you know it was a car. It was like, I think it was 4 dudes, so they're cracking me, but I'm like I'm throwing punches. My punches are landing, their punches are landing, and I was not having any fun. Okay, and then I heard the sweetest sound ever. Slightly embarrassing, but very sweet. I heard girls yelling, "Stop, leave them alone." And in my head, I was like, listen to them, listen to them. Yeah, they whooped me. They whooped me. I actually have a scar in here. They busted my eyebrow open. It was a little scar right here. But it was a strange thing because the vatos from Casablanca started running over there because I think they thought one of their homeboys was getting rushed. The vatos from the east side jumped in their car and they took off, and they ran up to me and they like saw that it was me and they tripped, and I guess they saw that I didn't run, that I tried to rush them, and I got my ass whooped behind it. But hey, that's what you do, right? I wasn't gonna run. I don't know, them get shot in the back or whatever. But they were like, "Hey, Holmes, what happened?" And I told them, and they were like, "Where were they from?" And I told them, they were like, "All right, Holmes, don't trip. We'll take care of it." And some things I think may have happened. I don't know. I wasn't a friend of theirs, either group. But I'll tell you what, after that, they used to trip, because they used to always trip out on me. They were like, "Hey, you don't go to no classes, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, I go to 5th period sometimes, and I'll go to 6th period, but I don't know. I don't even know what I have the other periods, really." And they were like, "You're always stoned." Back then, I used to smoke a gang of weed and shit. And I was like, "Yeah." So they used to be like, "Blaze it." I would blaze them out. But so there's a story of me getting my ass whooped. Now, we always, when we fall down, we pick ourselves back up. So let me follow that up with another story that you may find interesting. I don't lose on this one, though. Okay? Or did I? Or did somebody? Check this out. This was probably maybe 1987. Wasn't 89. I can't be sure. But in Santa Barbara, they used to have this thing at La Cumbre Plaza. They would turn the Sears into a haunted house, right? And it was called Nightmare on State Street. And they would have a guy, and he was dressed up as Freddy Krueger. It was scary, man. It was scary as hell. And so everybody would go there, you know, and you'd see all the fine girls there, and, you know, everybody would be there. So obviously it was a place where, you know, you may run into some enemigos. Well, one night me and my homeboys went, and actually a dude went with us, with my homeboys, who's from my neighborhood, Penguin. I'm going to say his name, Penguin. And Penguin and I weren't really friends. You know, we're from the same neighborhood, but he hung around with a different crew, and I didn't like his crew. But that night, you know, it was whatever. So he wound up being, you know, with us that night. I don't know how. So we're like towards the back of where the line is, and you know, we're chopping it up with some of the girls and stuff. And there's a commotion, right? And it was like 3 or 4 white dudes. And they were like bullying people, pushing people out of the way, like the regular people. Not us in the back where the troublemakers were, but up front. So, and I think I told this story too. If I did, man, just enjoy it again. So I tell my homeboys, hey, let's go in with them, right? Because you can go in, like, if you want to go in one person at a time, you can. But if you want to go in with a group of people, you can, right? So we start pushing our way through, like, hey, let us get up there. We want to go in with them, dude. So people were, oh, yeah, you could go ahead of us. You could go ahead. So they were about to go in, and then boom, we get right behind them. And they're like loud and being obnoxious. And when it was their turn, they started going. And then I told the staff, whatever they were, the employees, I said, hey, we're with them. And that's when they turned around and they looked and they saw us and they were like, oh shit. And they looked at each other like, oh damn, what just happened? So the door opens. And when the door opened, I turned around to tell somebody something. And then I walked in, right? The door shuts behind us. It's pitch black. And there was like somebody bumped into me, like kind of like right here, right? And I like try to reach out. You can't see anything. Then a skeleton, like a pumpkin head rises up. It's a dude with a pumpkin on his head, right? To scare. Well, that was my cue. So I immediately socked the dude in front of me, right? The white dude in front of me. Boom! Sock him in the back of his head. And everybody starts swinging. Well, I could tell the dude that was in front of me dropped and he was on his hands and knees. So I just start kicking with everything I have. And I'm telling my homeboy next to me, hey, there's one on the ground. And we're stomping him out, right? And then they pull the door open. So everybody takes off, boom. We just keep going through. There's a bunch of us in there. We get through the whole thing, right? And when we get out the exit, the white dudes take off running, right? And so we come out and Penguin is all fucked up, right? He's all beat up, right? And I look at him and I was like, hey, Holmes, what the hell happened to you? And he goes, I don't know, eh? He goes, one of them socked me in the back of the head and I fell down and he started kicking me. I won. Anyways, so there's two stories. One, I lost bad. And the other one, I won big. So hopefully you guys like the video, man. When you're a kid, there was some wild things jumping off, especially in the 80s. But that's my video for the day. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Let me know what you didn't like about the video. Share it with someone you think would like it. Be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out.